This is GrantWeave. GrantWeave is a new tool to help nonprofit organizations manage personnel allocations to grants. With GrantWeave, you can easily see all of your grants, staff, and where your staff's time is allocated. GrantWeave will show you where you have room in a grant's budget, which of your staff has their time fully covered by grants, and will ensure that you don't make the mistake of overcharging any staff member's time. These are the grants for GrantWeave Conservation Alliance, a fictional organization dedicated to environmental stewardship. This page shows us the amount of each grant's budget that's earmarked for staff salaries and the actual salary cost of all personnel currently assigned to that grant. We haven't assigned any staff to any grants yet, so they all show $0 assigned. On the staff page, we can see all of the personnel employed by the GrantWeave Conservation Alliance. It shows each staff member's name, title, department, and the job roles assigned to that person. All of those values are optional, but they can help when filtering or searching for staff, and they allow you to set restrictions on who can be assigned to a grant. If I want to see all members of the administration department, I can apply the filter here. All the staff that doesn't match the filter are hidden below. To the right of the staff member's name, there is a timeline that shows over this selected date range how much of that person's time is spoken for. The pink color shows where that person has less than 100% of their time allocated, which indicates that they have some spare capacity that could be assigned to a grant. All right, I'm going to clear that filter, and we'll go look at one of the grants in more detail. Let's look at the Watershed Restoration Initiative. We can see that this grant's period is from January 1st to December 31st, and it has a $900,000 total budget with $370,000 earmarked for staff salaries. Each of these boxes represents a line item in the budget. Most of them are assigned to the Watershed Watch program, and line items for staff salaries show their department and job role restrictions, along with the number of staff currently assigned to that budget item. For example, project staff salaries has $250,000 allocated. It can be used to fund staff in either the programs or research departments, and it has no restrictions on job roles. The volunteer training and coordination item has $40,000 allocated. It can be used to fund staff in any department, as long as they're in the community outreach job role. So let's start assigning staff to this grant. This will show us staff who are in the programs and research departments first, so let's select one of them to assign. We can see some details for this staff member with their employment history, which we can expand to show their salary. This particular person has an hourly rate and is scheduled to work 40 hours per week. In the assignment section, we can select the date range for the assignment, along with how much of this employee's time will be allocated here. And that can be specified either as a percentage of their time worked or as a number of hours per week. We've created our first staff allocation. We can see the amount that is now charged to this budget item. And if we want, we can see some details as to how that number was calculated. This organization uses bi-weekly pay periods, so this person's 20 hours per week works out to $1,200 per pay period, and there are just over 26 of those in the year that we have assigned. Let's add a few more assignments to this grant. I'm searching for our Director of Programs who has an annual salary. So let's say 25% of this person's time will be allocated to this grant. And again, we can see how this person's salary impacts the grant budget. Let's add some field staff to this grant. And when we go to add another one, we can see that the staff member we just assigned no longer has any pink in their timeline because 100% of their time is now assigned. And one more for good measure. Let's get someone assigned to our volunteer training and coordination line item. Since this one is restricted to staff with the community outreach job role, we'll see that the list of eligible staff is much shorter here. GrantWeave does allow you to select an ineligible staff member. You'll just see a warning on the assignment screen, but you can still do it. But let's go back and put someone with the correct job role into this budget item. Now, if we try to assign 100% of this person's time, we actually wind up exceeding the budget here. So let's go back and edit that and have this staff member spend 50% of their time here instead. And then maybe we can have our outreach coordinator spend 8 hours a week on this. That gets us very close to our $40,000 budget. Okay, let's finish this up with a few more assignments. Okay, so we haven't completely used up this grant's staff budget, but we have enough assigned to start exploring some other helpful features. The assignments page shows us timelines of the assignments of all of our staff. To keep things simple, let's filter this to only show staff who have some of their time assigned, so whose percent staff assignment is greater than 0. Now we have a detailed visual representation of how much of each person's time is allocated. This $sign indicates their salary changed on this date, and this assignments bar shows us the total amount of time this person has allocated, which is broken down by individual grant below. This isn't terribly interesting with each person assigned to only one grant, but we can use this screen to help find other grants that a staff member is eligible for and to assign them here. Now, this line item is for $20,000, which isn't enough for all of this staff member's time. But maybe we can have them spend 50% of their time for just a few months. So let's make this April 1st through July 31st. Now we see that between these two grants, the staff member has 100% of their time allocated from April to the end of July. Let's see if we can allocate some more time after that. And we'll choose another grant. This budget item gives us $25,000 to work with. So let's start with 25% of their time for the duration of the grant. And now there is this red warning in the middle of their timeline. Because this latest assignment overlaps the other two during the month of July, we wound up allocating more than 100% of this person's time, and GrantWeave is warning us about that overcharging mistake. Now, if we go back, we can see this on the staff page too, where the timeline shows us a section in red where someone has more than 100% of their time assigned, and we can filter for that too. So the staff assignment is greater than 100%, and here we see that staff member. If we look at that staff member's details page, we can see the same timeline here, and we can fix it here. If we start this assignment 1 month later, we should be good. So let's change this to go from August 1st to June 30th of the next year. Now we can see that we're at 100% from April to the end of July, and then 75% after that without the overlap that was causing us a problem. All right, let's see how we can model salary changes and see their impacts on grant budgets. If I edit this staff member, I can add a new salary event. Let's say that this person will receive a merit increase on January 1st to $70,000. We can see the future salary event reflected on the staff page. So let's go look at the grant budgets. Now, we don't necessarily know which grants this person is assigned to. So let's clear the current filter and filter by a specific staff member instead. Now we're seeing these 3 grants because they all have this staff member assigned to them. And on the grant details page, the budget items are filtered as well. So we can immediately see where this person is assigned. And expanding the assignments, this staff member's amount charged to the budget is clearly shown with the new salary rate accounted for after January 1st, which is when that salary takes effect. Hopefully this gives you some idea of what GrantWeave can do for your organization. It's still in development, but we're looking for a few grant managers to try it and provide feedback on how we can best meet your needs. If this is you, head over to grantweave.com, sign up for the email list, and we'll reach out to help you get started. Thanks for watching.